The Ministry of Sovereign Intelligence, Agent 26, Sterling Vane. Real science, real stakes.
Vane. I've lost her on the optical grid. She was in the plaza 30 seconds ago and she's just gone. The sensors aren't reading anything. No motion, no heat signature, no sound. It's like the whole block just stopped existing.
Yes, that is rather the point.
The point? Vane. We have 6 minutes before her courier hits the extraction dock and the entire network goes dark for 18 months. 6 minutes!
Sterling, the Dean is watching this in real time. I'd suggest avoiding another Sao Paulo situation.
Sao Paulo was a controlled outcome.
You were found in a broom cupboard wearing a bishop's robe.
It was a controlled outcome.
Vane, please tell me you have something. Anything. My nav AI is completely useless in this maze. It keeps routing me through a wall.
Cooper, stop moving.
What?
Then stop moving. You're generating vibration on the flagstones. She'll know we're here. There you are. The old city always tells you where to look. You simply have to listen to what it refuses to say.
What was that? Vane, what did you just do?
Now use the wall against her. Physics doesn't care about your encryption, Miss Vasquez. Sound always finds its focus. 14 hours earlier, London.
Cooper Thorne. Agent 14. COOP. Yes, I know what it says. I'm telling you the retinal scan app on my watch is look. Can you just Sloane? Sloane, the biometric panel is rejecting my smartwatch again.
The panel is doing its job admirably.
My credentials are on the watch.
Your credentials are in the system, Cooper. The watch is not the system. The watch is a fashion choice with delusions of infrastructure.
It has 17 sensors and an AI co-pilot.
And yet here you stand, in the lobby, talking to a globe. You look like you've been tumble-dried by the Atlantic.
The Azores send their regards. Fresh perceives, barnacles. The Portuguese consider them a delicacy. I think you'll find they reward patience.
You brought me barnacles.
The best ones cling to volcanic rock and cold serve, rather like good intelligence officers.
The Dean has been on the secure line for an hour. You'll want the file before you go up.
Oh good, you're here. My watch couldn't get me through the lobby scanner and Sloane wouldn't.
Cooper, why are you wearing your clearance on your wrist?
Because it syncs automatically to the...
29 laminate. Never needs charging. Survives submersion. Has functioned without incident since 2009.
That is actually kind of embarrassing to look at.
I find it charming.
Agent 26. What do you know about acoustic shadows?
I know they baffled both armies. At Gaines Mill in 1862, Confederate officers, less than 2 miles from the battle, could see the muzzle flash and smoke with perfect clarity. They heard nothing, not a cannon, not a rifle for 2 hours, while those same sounds were clearly audible in Staunton, Virginia, over 100 miles away.
Then you'll appreciate the problem. The monitors on screen. Sloane.
Mira Vasquez, 41, Venezuelan national cartel-adjacent broker. She moves weapons contracts between buyers who've never met and never will. In the past 8 years, she has not appeared on a single piece of surveillance footage, not made a single traceable phone call, and not been heard on any electronic intercept.
Because she's careful about comms?
Because she communicates entirely through repurposed colonial-era speaking tubes built into the walls of Cartagena's old city. The Spanish installed acoustic horn systems in the fortifications in the 1600s to pass commands between bastions. Vasquez had them re-engineered. Her network uses them for encrypted audio signals. No digital signature, no electromagnetic trace.
That is actually insane.
It's elegant. The Spanish built that city to be acoustically deceptive. The walls scatter, absorb, and redirect sound by design. Any sensor array placed near her returns nothing, dead zones everywhere.
She has a courier network. A contract is closing in 48 hours. We believe for a batch of unregistered microdrone swarms bound for a non-state actor in the Sahel. If the exchange completes, we lose the network forever. We need Vasquez, alive. Agent 26. The courts want her.
The courts. How refreshing.
Her perimeter, inside the walled city, is guarded by vibration sensors along the flagstones and motion-reactive acoustic monitors. But here's the complication.
Her acoustic monitors are calibrated to detect sound in normal propagation zones. In an acoustic shadow, a dead zone, they register nothing. She believes she is invisible to audio surveillance.
She's used the shadow as armor.
And it's worked. 3 prior attempts by Allied services failed. One team triggered the vibration sensors. Another was heard approaching through a convergence zone they didn't know existed.
The walls. What's the construction of the Baluarte de San Ignacio bastion? The corner element. What did Herrera add?
Dense coral limestone. Construction spanning 1623 to 1631, original work by Cristobal de Roda and Francisco de Murga. Completely rebuilt by Juan de Herrera y Sotomayor from 1721, who added the current irregular plan, the access ramp, and crucially, a projecting cylindrical garita on the bay-facing corner. A baroque sentry turret. Stone cylinder approximately 2 meters in diameter facing the Bay of Las Animas.
A cylinder is a section of a curved reflective surface. Fire a muzzle blast pulse along the interior face of that garita at the right grazing angle, and the concave stone wraps the sound around it, focusing it to a convergence point on the far side. She's not invisible. She's standing directly below the focal point of her own architecture. She just doesn't know it.
Are you saying you're going to use a baroque sentry turret as an acoustic lens?
Cooper, the turret has been waiting 300 years for precisely this moment. 11 hours later, Cartagena, the Caribbean coast, conduit, ambient wind speed at the bastion wall, bearing 270.
14 knots, gusting to 19, temperature 28 Celsius, humidity 82%.
82% humidity. Good. Dry air strips the energy from a pressure pulse at this frequency over distance. Moist air leaves it intact.
Vane. I'm in position on the north lane. My motion filter app is showing. Wait, it's buffering. It's buffering. Vane. The map app is literally loading.
Stunning technology.
It normally works. It's the humidity. It says the GPS is okay. It's back. I'm showing her network active. 3 nodes. But I can't pinpoint which node she's physically at.
She'll be at the central node, the one built into the wall directly beneath the garita. It's the oldest horn in the system, the clearest signal path, and the point she believes is most sheltered.
How do you know that?
Because if I were her, that's where I'd be. Conduit. Confirm optimal grazing angle along the interior curved face of the garita from my position to achieve muzzle blast convergence at bearing 185 below the turret base.
Optimal angle, 11 degrees from the stone surface. The cylindrical face will act as a curved reflector. Convergence point confirmed at bearing 185, 19.4 meters.
11 degrees from the face. The Spaniards built you to watch for ships. Tonight you serve a different purpose. There you are, Mira.
Oh no. Oh no. I think I just stepped on a sensor tile.
Cooper.
The motion array is lighting up on my watch. I can see the...
Cooper. Freeze. Don't speak. Don't breathe if you can manage it.
Sterling. 3 minutes to the courier's dock time.
What was that, Vane? Did you just use a baroque turret as a whispering gallery?
Even a suppressed subsonic round produces a muzzle blast, a genuine low-frequency pressure pulse at the exit, inaudible in open air at any distance. But fired at grazing incidents along the curved interior face of a cylindrical stone garita, the pulse wraps around the curvature exactly as sound wraps around the interior of a whispering gallery and converges on the focal point directly above her concealed speaking horn. Her equipment was tuned to maximum sensitivity at that point. It didn't hear a gunshot. It heard the stone. and now she has nowhere to run, except the route her own architecture left her.
You mapped a convergence point on a baroque sentry turret, in the dark, using 1 round. And then you turned her own sensors into the trap.
Herrera Y. Sotomayor added the garita, in 1721, as a standard military element, a cylindrical corner turret to give the sentry a wider field of fire over the Bay of Las Animas. Angular bastion, curved corner. He wasn't thinking about acoustics. He was thinking about musket angles. But a cylinder is a cylinder. Vasquez found the dead zones in the straight walls and called them safety. She didn't account for the one curved surface the Baroque engineer happened to attach to the corner 300 years ago for entirely unrelated reasons.
My watch literally buffered during the critical moment. I could have died because of a loading screen.
You could have died because of a sensor tile. The loading screen was merely ambient.
Vasquez is in custody. The courier was intercepted at the dock 6 minutes ago. The network is confirmed dark. Well done, the pair of you. Reluctantly.
Agent 26. Clean result. The courts will be pleased. The acoustic approach was unorthodox.
The walls were always listening, sir. We simply learned to listen to the walls.
Return to London. There's a situation developing in Reykjavik that will require a mind comfortable with counterintuitive physics.
When is it ever intuitive?
Vane. For what it's worth, the watch did get us the node positions. It wasn't completely useless.
No, it wasn't completely useless.
Really?
I said completely. Cooper. At the Battle of Gaines's Mill, Virginia, in June of 1862, Confederate officers standing less than 2 miles from a battle involving over 90,000 men could see the muzzle flashes and smoke clearly. For 2 hours, they heard not a single cannon, not a rifle volley, nothing, while those same sounds were clearly audible in Stanton, Virginia, over 100 miles away. Both facts are explained by the same physics, working simultaneously in opposite directions. Sound travels faster in warm air than in cold. When cold air is trapped near the ground beneath a warmer layer above a temperature inversion, exactly the condition that followed the storm the night before, Gaines's Mill sound waves near the surface travel more slowly than the waves above them. The wave fronts tilt inward, bending back down toward the earth. Sound arcs upward, travels high, and returns to the surface, far from its origin. The Confederate officers 2 miles away were standing inside a silent ring. The sound had arched directly over their heads. The citizens of Staunton, 100 miles distant, were standing where it came back down. That is one way sound disappears. There is another, almost the exact reverse in character. Curved stone surfaces a dome, a vaulted ceiling. A cylindrical tower do not scatter sound. They collect it. A concave surface reflects incoming waves inward, the way a concave mirror focuses light, producing what acousticians call an acoustic caustic. A precise zone of convergence, where energy arriving from across the curved surface reassembles simultaneously and at high intensity. Concert hall designers spend considerable effort avoiding this effect because it creates unexpected echoes at precise, unwanted locations. The dome of St. Paul's Cathedral does it. So does the curved interior of Grand Central Terminal. And so, it turns out, does the interior face of a cylindrical Baroque sentry turret on a 400-year-old coral stone bastion in Cartagena. Even a suppressed subsonic firearm produces a muzzle blast, a genuine low-frequency pressure pulse at the moment of firing, inaudible in open air. But fired at grazing incidents along the curved interior face of that cylindrical garita, the pulse wraps around the stone, converging on the focal point on the far side, directly above the concealed speaking horn. High humidity reduced atmospheric absorption of the pulse along its path, preserving its energy precisely where it was needed. If your adversary has positioned her most sensitive audio detection equipment at that focal point, believing it the safest location inside her dead zone perimeter, she has entirely by accident of architectural history built you a very precise instrument. You merely have to play the right note. The atmosphere decides who hears what. The geometry of a wall decides the same. Neither one consults you first. I find that rather reassuring.